Underway after a Greenville police officer was killed in a line of duty. Greenville is located in the Mississippi Delta. It's about 2 hours north of Vicksburg and less than 10 miles from the Arkansas state line. Sheriff Milton Gaston told me the lone suspect shot Detective Myiesha Stewart when she responded to a shooting. The sheriff says he not only shot his girlfriend but also another man before turning the gun on Stewart.
We feel the hurt of a police department that have lost an officer. The family is hurting. Our community is hurting.
Mayor Eric Simmons broke down during a press conference this afternoon on the steps of City Hall in Greenville. His emotion is the same being felt all across the Mississippi Delta as well as the law enforcement community. He says Stewart leaves behind a 3-year-old son and a host of family and friends. Simmons said Stewart quickly moved up the ranks to investigator after graduating from the academy. And right now we turn to the person who trained Detective Stewart in the Law Enforcement Academy at Mississippi Delta Community College. Thanks Deputy Tim Phelps with the DeSoto County Sheriff's Office for joining us this afternoon. First off, I have got to give you our condolences on behalf of everyone here at WTVA, as well as everyone just across North Mississippi. This is truly a painful day for law enforcement.
Well, thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. We shed some tears ourselves, and throughout Mississippi and the entire law enforcement community is feeling the pain.
Now, how was Myiesha Stewart as a student, and what were some of her strengths?
As a student, my initial thoughts on her in the academy, the first few days, she developed, she displayed some really strong leadership skills, and there was just natural skills. She had to be a leader. She was very tough, an independent type person. There were 14 females in that class, so it was the biggest class of female cadets that we had in the 23-year history of the academy. So she took a lot of those under her wing, a lot of the male recruits too that looked up to her, but especially the female section. And she was a little older than some, being in the academy. I believe she was 28 still at the time. And she just was like a mother to some of them, and just really tried to, no telling how many she kept from giving up or going home, because she was just always encouraging and trying to lead. She was competitive. I recall how competitive she was. I'm a little older, but I would get down and do sprints with them in the gym. And she was a college basketball player. She was about 6 foot tall, and she had those legs that when she sprinted, I mean, she could just make 2 of my steps, I think. So she would just look at me and smile at the times that she would beat me there. But she was a tough competitor. She enjoyed that. That class had to be tough. They faced that blizzard down in the Delta. We call it, if it's 10 or 12 inches in the Delta, it's a lot of snow. And that was during Firearms Week. So she chiseled snow and ice and all with the rest of the class, and they had to be really tough. COVID attacked the class and took about half of us at one point close to the end. But she was always resilient. She never gave up. If there was something that she needed extra instruction and all, she took instruction well. And so she did a good job there. As well as that tough side, though, I saw a compassionate and a sensitive side to her. I recall we had an instructor come in, and we had to show photos of automobile crashes, crime scenes, different things that were kind of gruesome. And it was part of their training to know this is what you're going to see out there in the real world. This is in the world. This is on the streets, and you're going to see this to help prepare. So I recall her getting up during the class when those are being shown and going out for a moment. And then for the next couple of days, she just didn't seem herself. So called her in, and she looked at me after a couple minutes of just small talk and said, what's wrong? And she said, sir, I have a son about the age of some of those kids in those videos, and I just couldn't bear to see something like that happen to him, and it just hurts my heart. And I said, Recruit Stewart, you're tough. You have got to, what'd you get in this business for? And she told me why she got in the profession was to help others and to help kids and make sure, keep all of them she can from becoming victims.
Now, Deputy Phelps, we are running a little bit out of time. Can you be able to quickly tell us how does her passing affect the law enforcement community, but most importantly, her fellow classmates?
Um, it's been a great void to this class as well as to law enforcement all over the state of Mississippi. It's a lot of grief there. We'll have to meet together. We'll go down to Greenville and we'll have a time of grieving, and then we'll have a time of the celebration of her life. And then we'll have to pick back up and do what she would want us to do, and that's train hard every day as our lives depend on it. And that's exactly what she would want us to do. And she was very successful. Like you said, they mentioned she'd been an investigator quickly. She had aspired to be a police chief. And I think we all need to have big goals like that in our career to go as far as we can in helping our community and service to others.
All right, then thank you so much, dear Deputy Tim Presley, for joining us this afternoon and helping us to understand Officer Myiesha Stewart as that student as well as detective. Thank you so much.
And thank you for your condolences to us all. We appreciate it.
A jury is now deciding